So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi guys, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, fabulous viewers. So blessed to be here. For those of you guys who are new to this channel, welcome. For those of you guys returning, welcome, welcome. I'm so blessed to be here. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. Today's reading is very, very, very special. The energy feels very different here. I don't know what it is, okay, but it's the only word I can really use is sacred. Something feels very sacred here, very special, very profound. And it does feel like you're on the precipice of some form of change or decision that's very important to you that could really significantly change your life. Okay, so that's very profound here. And so I was guided to bring these 3 candles and set intentions for this reading. I don't generally light candles for my readings, but there is an energy of spirit wanting you to know that you're heavily protected, guided, and to set your intention here. And so I do want to honor whatever this is, or this decision you're about to make, or I feel like you're figuring out or navigating something that might be a little challenging for you. So Spirit wants you to know you're not alone. Okay, so set your intention. And I will ask Spirit to protect you, guide you, and to allow me to channel this reading in a way that will help you making whatever decisions you're needing to make. Spirit, thank you so much for this guidance at this time. And Spirit is saying you are never alone and there is no wrong decisions. Okay, so whatever path you go down is your path. Okay, so do not put more pressure on yourself than needed. So what are we doing today? Today's reading, we're really taking a look at what information is sort of hidden from you or not known that will help you to make a decision in regards to a big impact in your world. There seems to be something missing, key information or a piece of, I don't know, I guess knowledge or insight that might help guide you or might help confirm that your decisions are in line with the greatest outcome for yourself. And so this reading will bring to the surface or highlight any sort of intuition you might have about the truth, the reality, or anything here that you're needing to know, okay, so that you can make decisions in line with your future confidently. So really this reading is a confirmation reading. Okay, it's going to validate you. It's going to support you in making whatever decision and bring to light anything here that maybe you're not seeing or understanding, or maybe we have a blind spot, you know, that we're not really considering. So this is what this reading will highlight to you. Okay, so Spirit, thank you so much for this beautiful reading. Can we get 4 picks here for the collective regarding what is hidden and getting in the way of this person making decisions in line with what they're being called to do? So we have this feather here. We'll read the back side during your reading. Oh, I am being called to pull this feather as well. So we have pile 1, pile 2. For pile 3, spirits, what is hidden? What are they needing to know? What information is coming to light that will help pile 3 support themselves in this decision that they're making? We have this pointy feather. And finally, pile number 4. Pile 4, spirits. We have this feather right here. Wow. 4 very different feathers. If you are called to multiple, oh, all the feathers fell. If you're called to multiple feathers, it's fine, okay? This means there's multiple aspects in regards to messaging that you're needing to hear. I will hold out the decks so that you guys who are interested in knowing which decks I'm using. Oh, the cards are falling down. Okay, so let's take a look at what we'll be using. We'll be using the Angel Tarot cards. And we'll also be using the Crystal Tarot. So 2 tarot decks for each pile. And then for oracles, we have the Divine Feather Messenger, which is what we use for the piles. We have the Spirits and Shadows Oracle. We have Under the Roses Lenormand deck. We have the Moonology Messages. Wow, everything's falling. It's almost like a tower moment happening here. Soul Trees. Okay, so these are the decks. We will pull cards together. I will put timestamps so that you guys can skip straight away to your channeled message, but sit with this energy, beautiful angels. Okay, and then when you're ready, select from the timestamp, and I will see you guys at your pick. Pile 1, gorgeous angels. You guys picked this feather right here. Today's reading is so beautiful. I feel this energy here of the word I used in the intro was sacred. It's like a sacred energy here of a profound change or shift, which might include you having to go down a path or make a decision here. And so this reading is Spirit wanting to bring into your conscious awareness maybe something that is hidden from you or not understood by you, or maybe you're needing confirmation validation in order to help you make such decisions, okay? But Spirit does want you to know that you're heavily protected and guided throughout this time. Okay, so we'll pull the cards together here. You guys can go ahead and select on the timestamp if you want to go straight away to your reading. But in order to connect to your intuition, I do ask that those of you guys developing your intuition, you sit through this card layout. Okay, so you guys pick this feather, and this is Flicker. So I've never heard of a flicker bird before, but it says, new rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. Wow. So very in line with the energy I was feeling. So anytime we're dealing with new patterns and we have to trust the unknown, it could be very scary for sure. Let's pull your cards, beautiful pile number 1. Okay, before I begin to channel, like I said, you can go straight away to the reading. Spirit for beautiful pile number 1. What is this message for pile 1 that they're needing to hear right here, right now, that is hidden from them, that is needing to be understood to help support them at this time? Thank you, Spirit. We're so blessed for this message. Please help me to channel this in a way that pile number 1 will understand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I see a cover card here that we don't need. So there might be a distraction pulling you on another path, but I think you can spot that very easily, what's not for you. Okay, and I do feel that's old pattern, old decisions, old people, old circumstances, an old way of thinking, some habits, something here that might try to get you to fall back. Okay, but I do feel like you can spot this. The beautiful sun showing itself. Sun is the most positive card in the tarot. Well, this is the Lenormand. Okay, the Lenormand deck. Sun talks about clarity, certainty, enlightenment, consciousness, joy, Leo energy, happiness. It could talk about childhood, vitality, things coming to light, Let's pull 3 of these. Spirit, clear and concise message for pile 1. What is it that they're needing to know in regards to what is hidden from them or what needs to be understood by them? There's your card right there. And finally, this deck right here for pile number 1, Spirit. Clear and concise message for pile 1. Okay, let's put these over here. Let's take a look. Beautiful angels. So we have flicker. Look at this feather. Fascinating. I don't know that I've ever seen a bird like that. Kind of looks like owl feathers. We have gratitude. Wow. And we have heal, heart, and spirit. Beautiful. The purple and green. So spirituality, and the green representing the heart chakra. Very spiritual. Earth. Gorgeous. Look at the greens here, you guys. Action. Wow. I'm being called to do that. Okay. And we have the sun and the lilies showing up here. Card 3031. So we have succession here. The King of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy pulling through. And we have the House and the Mice. King of Cups, 7 of Wands. Okay. We have entanglement. And we have enchanted moonlight. Wow, look at this archway. And then the moon's on the other side here. Moon could represent fears and subconscious energies. So we have the 9 of Wands. And we have the 4 of Swords. This is in reverse, and I will read it in the upright. I will read all of them in the upright. Okay. 8 of Cups. Okay. And then we have 7 of Water, which is 7 cups. A complex decision, the need to do research. Stop procrastinating. Wow. And we have the Queen of Cups, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Lots of cups here. And we have the 2 of Earth, 2 Pentacles. Too much going on at once. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. Yeah, there was definitely a decision energy sort of pulling through with this reading here. Let's get this centered before I start to channel what this messaging is for you guys, beautiful angels. What wand spirit? Let's use this wand. Okay, you guys can click straight away on the channeled message. Okay, beautiful pile number 1. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I feel like this is a very profound sort of experience that we're having here, because it's going to shift your world, and any sort of major change could be scary. I do feel like it's involving your home life, okay, or how you've continued to find support, family support, maybe your resources. And I do feel like something doesn't feel aligned or right, and it hasn't for some time. And I do feel like we're at the, I want to call it the breaking point, only because we can't sit here in the discomfort any longer. And it's becoming apparently clear to you that there are certain decisions that are within your control. Okay. And I do feel like there's a lot of positive energy in regards to your experience of the past with said house. Okay. This could be a job. It could be your family arrangement. It could be, a roommate setup, something that's already established. Okay. And I do feel like this has brought to you a lot of security, a lot of joy, a lot of resources at some time for quite some time. And having security and stability feels really good. It does. And I feel it's made you who you are in some capacity here. Okay. But I do feel like there's a turn here, because I feel like Spirit is really talking about things shifting and you growing out of this energy. And we might not want to, because it'd be easier to sort of stay in an energy that feels familiar, that we know we could trust because it's been proven to be trustworthy. But I think it's becoming very apparent to us the longer we sort of stay here that something is not aligned anymore. And so you're being called to make changes. And I don't know how long we might have been. Maybe, I don't know. What's coming to mind is resistant, in denial, or trying to still make do. But like I said, it's some sort of breaking point, because I think we're working on accepting the fact that this isn't aligned anymore, and that there is abundance to be had in making a decision away from this environment. But I feel like there's so much invested. And when it comes to the 3D, there's a lot going on. We might have our resources tied to this. There might be a lot of loose ends and steps and actions that are intertwined. This says entanglement. And so when we're really entangled in something, we could get very overwhelmed, because it's like there's too many steps or decisions, or it might impact things in a way that just seems like it overtakes us. And so we could sit there procrastinating, sort of looking, knowing what we need to do, but delaying. And Spirit is coming through with this information saying and confirming that you are being called to action here, away from this environment, not because it's bad, not because it didn't provide, not because of anything other than you're outgrowing this towards something more healing and expansive for you. And you're being called spiritually to do this. And I do feel like this is really aligned with abundance for you. And it is more secure and more stable and more fruitful. But we might not see this because we haven't been invested yet. And I feel like whatever environment we have been committing to or dedicating ourselves to has been out of a sense of obligation or duty or experience. But I feel like a part of yourself has been on the back burner here. You might be aware of this or not. I don't know. It's like for the greater good or for the ease of everything and everyone involved. It's like, I'll just sort of not rock the boat. So there is a level of sort of stagnation here, and Spirit wants you to know, don't put pressure on yourself, but know that every step that you're making here and decision that you're making should be untangling yourself from whatever this energy is, because this energy over time will not be a place for you to sort of hang your hat. Okay? And I think you already know this. And like I said, for some of you guys, maybe we didn't want to believe this, or maybe it was difficult for us to accept this. We want to think things are forever in some capacity here. But I feel like what Spirit's really saying is it's time do not get sort of in your mind about it, because you might get overwhelmed with all of the different things that it might impact. And so you might let the overwhelm sort of dictate your action, which just kind of keeps you sort of stagnant and stuck. Whereas Spirit is saying, like, as long as you're taking action in the 3D world towards breaking away from this thing, it will point you towards the direction in which you're being called to go. And so I feel like there's a need to trust this change, because we might put a lot of questions out there, and that's natural, but it's like the question because we want to believe that maybe we need to stay put. And Spirit is really talking about it's because we've been really invested emotionally, and it's difficult for us to accept that change doesn't necessarily mean that we're giving up on anything or taking away from the significance something's had in your world. But there's a need to have that gratitude, hold that gratitude, and understand where you emotionally invested for however long, because I do feel for a lot of you guys it's been for some time, but that this world, whatever this world is, and it feels very close to you, is holding you back and is holding you down from a new chapter here. So there is some fear attached to making change. There's some fear attached to what will things look like on the other side when I don't have this crutch or this stability or this thing that's really been a big part of who I am and built who I am. And Spirit saying it's not who you are. You are aligned with happiness down this path, and you'll know right away what this path is, because I feel like you guys see it very clearly, but you've been hesitant and you've been sort of dragging your feet in making action or decisions towards this thing. And I do feel like Spirit is talking about this is for your spiritual growth, as well as something that speaks very close to your heart here, is very healing, growing, and abundant. And I think Spirit is also talking about if you knew the blessings on this side, there would be no delay. There would be a certainty and a clarity in making this decision, because you would be confident. But the only hesitation here is the fear in letting go of the familiar and the comfort. So you are being encouraged here to trust your decisions towards the new, and that you do have it within you. Okay, but this would require you leaving things behind, but the only things we're really leaving behind are the things that are no longer going to provide us with emotional benefit here. And so I don't know how long you've been contemplating or sort of looking from the other side, because I do feel like you're stagnant, stuck, or frozen is the energy you're giving off. And Spirit's talking about this is breaking you down over time, staying in that energy. It's actually more draining than movement towards the new. So if you're feeling heavy, burdened, and just exhausted, tired, dragged down, Spirit is saying it's time to make a decision and movement towards the new. The new that is unfamiliar, and the new that might make you a little scared here. There's no reason to be scared. This will bring you into balance. And I do feel like this is going to be an energy here of abundance, appreciation, support, and stability. Yeah. So this is what I see, pile number 1. I hope this helped you. And if you're called to another pile, I will see you there. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2, you guys picked this feather right here. Absolutely beautiful. Let's lay all your cards out, okay? And let's read what's going on the back side of this feather. So we ask Spirit, what is sort of hidden from you, or what needs to be revealed to you, understood by you, in order for you to navigate through maybe a decision or a situation that you have going on right now. And I do feel like this is quite significant because Spirit's coming through with a very beautiful sacred energy of protection and intention, and wanting you to feel secure in whatever decisions you're about to make or direction you're going to pursue here. Okay, so very beautiful reading. Let's take a look at the energy of this feather for you guys. Pile number 2, we have the bluebird. Wow. This came out in one of my readings, and I looked up this bluebird because I didn't know bluebirds had these red bellies. Absolutely adorable. It says, you are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. Gorgeous. And I just heard it's about time. So maybe we've been without abundance, you know, and we're never really without, but we could certainly be experiencing a dry spell of blessings and abundance when it comes to the energy that we're in. And so maybe you were wondering, like, when's my next blessing coming? And let's see, Spirit, for pile number 2, what is this hidden information, this confirmation that they're needing to know for this reading? What is this message for pile number 2, Spirits? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing a reading. Pile number 2, Spirit, what is this energy? What's hidden from them? What do they need to know right here, right now, regarding their situation, circumstance? Clarity for pile number 2. Thank you so much. Pile number 2, Spirit, what are they needing to know? And we got 2 more for pile 2. Let's give this a good shuffle. I will be reading these all in the uprights, okay? The tarot, clear and concise message for pile number 2. One more, that one. And oops, we have a few fall on the floor. These fell like this. I do feel as part of your reading, so we'll take it. And we have the Sun. Interesting, that came out for pile number 1, and the 4 of Wands. Wow, isn't that amazing? Pile number 2, Spirit. Okay. Wow, I just keep hearing blessings. Blessings. So let's take a look. We have the fish. Look at this, abundance, 34. The King of Pentacles. Okay, I think these are koi fish. No, I don't know. Are they koi fish? They look like koi fish, but they do mean abundance in the Lenormand deck. Abundance could mean many different things. It's like wealth. Could be financial wealth or blessings. Your reading is all about blessings. Look at this. The most positive card in the Lenormand, the clover. This is like luck, Jupiter energy. Okay, a shift of energy here for the better. Yeah, 6 Pentacles. I think you're going to be given something here. Wow, the clover, number 2. And then we have number 3, the ship, 10 of Spades, which is 10 swords. So something's coming to an end here, and we're moving forward. Okay, so number 3, and here we have manifestation with this black cat. Okay, we have Moonlight Serenade. Change your tune. Change your tune. Well, I was feeling Wheel of Fortune energy, which is a change of direction. A change of direction. Change your tune. Okay. And we have acceptance. We have detachment. And we have reconnect with spirit. Oh, wow. Lots of purple energy. We have the Four of Cups. This is like passing energy here. It doesn't feel very good. We have the High Priestess, which is Pisces energy. And we have the King of Cups. So now we have the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So the King of Pentacles is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. The King of Cups is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Sun, which is Leo energy. And then we have the Four of Wands. We have 15, Ego, Archangel Jophiel with a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So this is the Devil card in the tarot, which is Capricorn energy. Okay. And we have the Five of Cups coming out again for a second time. It says things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, crying over spilt milk. And we have number 5, Unity, Archangel Sandalphon, which says traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So this is Hierophant energy. Okay. All right. Let me tap into this energy. Okay. Wow. This is a very strong message here. If you have not been going through it, okay, when I say through it, I feel like really going through it, feeling almost like there's a great cloud over your head. And I don't know how long you've been in this energy for, but I do feel like it's been for some time. We've experienced loss, disappointment, sadness. Everything that could probably go wrong has gone wrong for some time. Spirit is talking about this shifting and changing for you. There is freedom here. Okay, and it's almost like this experience was a part of your journey. It was required here in order for you to come to some form of understanding or lesson of sorts. Okay, we don't like challenges, obviously, but Spirit's really talking about why we have these difficult situations is really for there to be an experience of contrast. Okay, and so I feel like there is this contrast with acceptance and detachment. It's like knowing the difference between what's in our control and what's out of our control. And also going through intensity here with this devil energy, but still being able to sort of weather the storm, to detach from things that aren't your burden to carry, where you might feel it's out of your control, but at the same time, it's like something overtakes you, you know, with this devil energy. It's like knowing you might have an ability to free yourself or make change, but it seems very overwhelming and very heavy. And so this whole experience was one in which you were learning how to detach from toxic mind patterns or situations or people or circumstances in order for you to learn this life lesson, if you will, forever, because I do feel like this is an ingrained experience that you've had here that you won't forget, but things are about to change. So this message is really about you aligning yourself with abundance and blessings and happiness and breaking out of this. I don't know if it's been a pattern of, it seems like the universe dished you out with this thing. And Spirit is saying at the end of this experience, what it's really done is bring you closer to Spirit, closer to yourself, closer to the divine. And so I do feel like we can either look at the pain and the loss that we've experienced and the suffering as something we would have rather not have involved yourself with, or we can look at this on the other side, because I do feel you're coming on the other side here with this sun energy, to how much closer have you been brought to the divine? how much of your intuition has been developed here, how much of your heart has been opened as an experience here, because I do feel like all of these things might have been very blocked or challenged previous to this experience. And so I do see you sort of experiencing disappointment, becoming very despondent, or maybe even looking at the situation as something that you could do without. You might have felt very rejected or shut out or just disappointed. And Spirit's really talking about it it couldn't really be something here that you could manifest your way out of or shift or change, no matter how hard you tried, because I do feel like it was really tied to an experience. And really, it's interesting. This is unity for this Hierophant. And so I feel like what's coming through is this unity consciousness, which is about feeling tied to one and all, which is the divine and everything and everyone, not from a separation consciousness, which would be, like an ego here, where we're seeing ourselves as separate and lacking. So if we had a separation consciousness or a lack mindset, I feel like this experience has been working with you to overcome this sort of mindset. Because as long as we have a lack mindset, we experience a 5 cups disappointment. We experience a 4 cups feeling left out, feeling rejected, feeling disappointed and let down by other people and circumstances. And Spirit is saying this experience is to bring light to you, which is that's not necessarily reality or the truth. That is a perception that you have control over, whether you want to see the downside or lack, or you want to move towards abundance. And I feel like we're at a position where we can control or be observant or aware or shed light on our mindset, which might be something we haven't been able to do in the past. It's like I am aware of my mindset. I'm aware of what I can invest in and manifest, and what is out of my control, and accept what's out of my control, to the point where I'm no longer sitting in suffering or sitting in disappointment or lack. Because this is a big one. If we can't accept reality, we might resist, we might challenge, we might fight what reality is. And Spirit is saying this is becoming apparent to you. It's becoming very clear to you that what reality is something that needs to be accepted, but you don't have to feel lack, that you still have an ability to master your emotions and understand yourself. And so this is all about self-mastery, coming back to the divine, being able to understand what suffering or disappointment looks like so that we can enjoy blessings and the bright side. Because I feel like it's been very dark here for some time, but it was all to develop this intuition and this experience, like I said, of unity consciousness, or just this experience of understanding contrast. So we have blessings, 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 and we're moving towards this. And your mindset has changed from when you might have started this whole experience, because I do feel like you might have been a little bit of an energy here that had a potential to manifest, but you were disconnected or not fully understanding the power of manifestation before this experience. And so Spirit is bringing through this information sort of as confirmation to you that you might sense something big, like a change in the wind or a change in direction, or like it's not as heavy or drowning or impacting you. It's like this will be behind you. And it's like the worst of the worst, because I do feel there was a very heavy, painful energy here. 10 swords, 5 cups twice, this devil energy. It's like it's proven to you that you could fight through this. And it's not even a fighting, like a resistance. It's almost like surviving this, accepting what is, surrendering to the divine and putting your hands in the air and really leaning into the intuition, which is all that was required. Not trying to force things to be different or trying to upkeep heaviness here. It's about surrendering and trusting the divine. And I feel like Spirit is giving you a congratulations here, because I do feel like there has been a lot of work done here without sort of turning sour or disappointed or going in the opposite direction. feeling disappointed and let down, and then sort of letting that impact your manifestations. And so Spirit's talking about your manifestations being bright, being happy, being joyful, and about you overcoming any sort of childhood wounding or challenges that you might have experienced in the past that have been greatly impacting your build for the future. And so Spirit is talking with this Four Wands. It's like you're now reaching a state of a pivotal point in your world of stability, security, the right people, the right circumstances. It will mark the all I can say is really a pivotal point here in your life, where there's a turn of events, a turn of circumstances, where it's like, okay, everything previous to this was sort of sad, or disappointing, or it felt very stuck. It felt very stagnant. It's like the version of me that was navigating choppy waters, that was having to deal with disappointments and people and situations that just didn't align. And now on the other side of this Four Wands, it's like joyous. It's like we can connect to Spirit and feel secure and feel safe and feel joyful around the environment that we're in. And so I do feel like Spirit is really, really coming through here with blessings to come to you in great abundance. Okay. And I feel like this isn't anything you're having to work for or having to chase. This is coming towards you. Spirit is acknowledging your acceptance of reality and what is, and your ability to detach from things that might have seemed very real, like real as in holding you back, but is more of a mindset and circumstantial and situations. And I do feel this has taken you some time to detangle yourself from this devil. But there's liberation, there's clarity, there's light, and there's not forgetting what you've experienced here, which allows you to really sort of see this lesson and understand this lesson, because it's understood by you as an experience. And so with the Four Wands in this Hierophant energy, like I feel like you're building a solid understanding of your values, a stable future for yourself with the right people that isn't up in the air or isn't turbulent, because I do feel like there was turbulency or some lack of being able to feel safe and plant roots, or you weren't feeling just stuck, like you're going through sludge or something like this, or feeling bound to something that felt unhealthy or felt misaligned. Is really, at the end of the day, it was misaligned and it was disappointing. So this is a 180. Okay. And I do feel like it's really aligned with your authenticity. It's like your self-expression, your ability to stand behind these values becomes very apparent. And there's a freedom that comes with this movement. Okay. So maybe you've sensed this, and Spirit is confirming that's exactly what's coming here for you. Pile number 2. Okay, so we have Pisces. I think I read these already. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Leo, Capricorn, Taurus. My throat chakra is getting tight. And then we have Virgo and Gemini with this manifestation, which is giving me Magician energy. So you're in peak manifestation. You've been manifesting for some time, and Spirit's acknowledging you could have just sort of gave up, felt disappointed and chained, and been manifesting more of this. But there's an acceptance and detaching from that negative energy or that stagnancy or that unhealthy thought pattern in order to have movement here. And it's working, whatever you're doing here. Okay. So pile 2, this is your reading. If you're pulled to another pile, I will see you there. All right. Bye-bye. Pile number 3, you guys have this black feather right here. It kind of looks like a crow feather. Let's take a look at what this is. We'll lay out your cards, okay, shortly, and we're asking the divine in regards to what's hidden from you or what needs to be confirmed to you consciously so that you know what's going on because I am getting an energy here of you on the precipice of making a change or a decision or needing clarity here to move forward in whatever next chapter is coming in for you. Okay, so this could be something you already intuitively know but are needing confirmation from, or it could be something completely hidden that Spirit wants to come to you with. Okay, so best ways to tap into your own intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile is for you or not. Okay, so what is this feather? We have a condor. Wow. Okay, so it says, hold the highest vision for your life. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. Wow, isn't that significant? You possess the ability to move past any hurdles. And maybe we're finally realizing our own strength, our own ability. Maybe your confidence is up in regards to moving beyond things that might have held us back at one point in time. I don't know how long you felt maybe held back by circumstances, situations, maybe people, things that you couldn't necessarily change. But it's now coming to some sort of understanding of what's in your control, what's in your ability. Clear and concise message for pile 3. Spirit, what is this message all about? What is hidden? And what are they needing to understand in regards to this messaging? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. All right, I will be reading these all in the upright, okay? It's mostly energy we'll be reading from those cards. Spirit, for pile number 3, what is this message? What is hidden, being revealed or understood by pile 3 in order to help them at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you, Spirit. We're so blessed to be here getting this message. And let's pull these as well for pile number 3, Spirit. Okay, wow, quite a bit for you guys, pile 3. I'm going to move these over. Okay, let's take a look. We have the house, King of Cups, number 4. King of Cups is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If you guys want to skip straight away to your channel message, there is a timestamp below, okay? So we have the Grave. Oh my goodness, 9 Pentacles and the number 8. Okay, and then we have the Clover. Wow, this came out for pile number 2. 6 Pentacles, number 2, the Clover. That's the most positive card in the Lenormand. This is like a change of luck here, very abundant. This is Jupiter energy. Okay, the Grave is an ending. It's an ending of something. This is kind of like the Death card in the tarot, okay? Let's see. We have Autumn. Yeah, that's this Grave sort of energy. And then we have the Key. Wow. Autumn and the Key. We have allow, play, celebration, and purpose. Look at these very similar colors, pinks and purples. Pink is self-love. Purple is the color of spirituality and intuition. Look at this beautiful tree. Gorgeous. Purpose. Okay. We have, I will read them in the upright, 4 of Cups. And we have the Emperor. And we have the 5 of Cups. So 4 cups, 5 cups came out for pile number 2. If you were called, that would definitely be why. There might be a message there, a connection in that pile. We have Blood Moon with Courage. That's this Emperor energy. Beautiful. It's this number 8 energy as well. And we have Moon Rising with Truth. Wow, I love that. And look at this beautiful autumn color with the oranges, the burnt orange, which we have autumn right here. Okay, let's take a look at the tarot here. So let's move that up. What should we do here? Let's do that. We have Page of Cups, Page of Water, intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins. A new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Wow, all that purple. 8 of Air. So this is the 8 swords. Okay, it says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. I was going to say ability to take action. So we have this Emperor here. This unicorn energy has been coming out in a lot of my readings here. Once in a lifetime. There's a once in a lifetime experience here. Okay, we have 8 swords, which is a limiting thought. We have the Star, Archangel Jophiel. It says, happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So this is Aquarius energy, healing energy. It's also the card of destiny and long-term visions, attaining our wish. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. 4 Pentacles. Okay. Let's put that there. No. Yeah. Okay. Let me tap into this energy, all right? Okay. I feel like there's these 2 energies here. Okay, this could be your energy, someone around you, apply it accordingly. I feel like there's one energy of playing it safe and hanging on to the stability and security as we know it, at the risk of change, growth, love, and enjoyment. Okay, it's been like this, I feel, for some time with this 4 of Pentacles, because this is like the miserly card where we're too afraid to risk anything. Now, when I use the word afraid, it could be we lack the confidence or the trust in the situation, ourself, in the success of something. I feel like this is about to change here. Okay, we might still be sort of teetering here, talking ourselves sort of out of trusting our own self, because I feel like this is really about your own ability and confidence to trust yourself to attain what you want. You know what you want here. This pile knows what they want. Okay, you have your vision on this thing, but this thing might have seemed like a dream, a fantasy, something that might have never seemed like it could become a reality in your world. For whatever reason, you told yourself you were incapable or it wasn't a thing. I think it's now finally becoming a reality to you. It's becoming visible to you, the ability that you actually have to bring yourself closer to this thing. This thing, I feel like, is really impacting where you're going. It's like your North Star, your vision of the future, what you can develop long term. It's really tied to your purpose. I think you feel it and you know it. So it's not something we could just give up on, because it's very integrated into the long-term planning of the person you're becoming. And I feel like it's very aligned with joyous energy here. Okay, it's not as scary, intense, or fearful as maybe at one point we might have seen this road, this path. And I think this is allowing us to have trust and build our confidence to move in this direction, because I do feel like with this play and celebration, it's like There's allowance and space. Oh, look, allow. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see that. Allowance and space that might have not have been seen by you. You know, when we're experiencing something that is difficult, and like the difficult or the scary parts seem magnified and bigger, and everything that might be positive seems kind of minuscule or not as, it doesn't weigh the same. Like, for example, if we're like, I don't know, outside in the dark, you know, and it's like we hear a scary noise, it's like that noise can like override maybe what we see there. Maybe we see like, I don't know, like a bag of money or something like this, you know, it's like, ooh, bag of money, but I'm just using this as an example. Okay. But then we hear a noise or something loud or scary, and it's like, whoa, it's like the noise sort of overrides the bag of money or something here that could be something that you would generally move towards. So there was fear, I feel here, but the fear was more in the lack of know-how or trust in the situation, in yourself, aligning to it, in this being the right time or the right place or the right mindset. It would require you to sort of take a chance or a risk. But I feel like whatever risk maybe that we might have felt at one point isn't as much of a risk. I feel like it's being sort of watered down here. There's allowance here for you to accept some form of truth. I feel like you're finally seeing that bag of money, okay, I just use the bag of money, whatever this blessing is, because I feel like for all of you guys is different, but you guys see it. It's your North Star, it's your blessing. You guys feel very blessed by this thing. I think you're given an opportunity here to experience something once in a lifetime, very tied to purpose. But this would require you to let go or put down and close out something that maybe felt very secure in your world. It's provided you abundance. It's provided you security. But I do feel like it's been, in comparison, something very tiring. It could be something that has been making do for you, you know. It definitely isn't aligned with expansion, purpose, and this beautiful energy of play and celebration. It's been missing. So this, whatever this is, has been dry. And I feel like Spirit's really talking about that environment. It's kind of similar to one in some capacity, but that environment I feel has been slowly dry or dying off in your world organically. Okay, but it's not just dying off and leaving you sort of homeless or helpless. It's like Spirit is really coming through here, because the whole point of this reading and this message is like what was hidden or what's not seen by you or understood. It's like you have this key to the new world. You've been given insight. You have everything you need. There is nothing more that you're needing to be equipped with. Spirit is really talking about you having the power, the ability, the confidence, and the know-how to allow yourself to move in that direction. It's only a matter of you embracing this and truly leaning into it. Because I do feel like we haven't always trusted ourselves or had the courage to trust that position or that situation or that circumstance. So we've been more sort of hanging out with the old, you know, upkeeping or updoing or hanging on to the familiar. But I feel like it's creating discomfort in some way. And I feel like maybe we felt like there were too many obstacles or challenges or scenarios that could come up. Because I do feel with this 8 swords, there was a conditioned understanding that felt very real. And so there might be a list of things that we sort of understood that we'd have to overcome or, like understand about ourselves, our limitations or our handicaps or our inability to align with certain things have held us hostage. And I feel like Spirit is really talking about this no longer being a thing that holds you back, but you sort of opening up here. Okay, so some of you guys, it's a creative project. Some of you guys, it's a connection here. Okay, some of you guys, it could just be moving towards what makes us happy day in, day out that's not aligned with our existing world. So a job, a career, a creative pursuit, a family life, a residence, Okay. But I feel like there's always a hesitancy when we're starting with something new, because we're sort of at this early stage. Like, do we trust it? Am I developed enough? Am I experienced enough? Can I be confident that this decision is right? And Spirit is really coming through saying you might feel like a novice, but you're really in control here, like with this Emperor energy, to trust and to know that you have the courage here to embark on whatever this is, to allow this to come through, because you do have all the information you need. And I do feel as though with this clover, this is something that is absolutely abundant. It's a blessing, and it will shift your world in a very positive, beneficial way, materially, and also in the pentacle realm, with resources and abundance here. So we see 6 pentacles. This is paying it to you. I feel like this is the gift that keeps on giving, as long as we allow and align with this thing. Okay. And so I feel like, yeah, Spirit was really talking about you accepting with allow and celebration. It's like seeing this blessing for what it is and celebrating it, rather than focusing on the scary noise, like I said, in the dark, because I feel for some time we were focused on the downside that could be possible, or what seemed as though it was a limitation. And we have the key to unlock us out of this mental prison. And I think you're finally seeing the answer. You're finally understanding that you can break out of these negative thoughts or these limitations or restrictions, because you've carried them for too long and they've been disabling you from progressing. I feel like whatever you're aligning with gives you power and self with this 9 pentacle. So you feel secure on your own, but you also trust this situation to develop for you. So it's not like you're tying your sense of self-worth to something else, because I feel like wherever you're at, I feel like there might be a lot of love or emotional, I don't know, codependency or experiential sort of attachment. And so in this new world of where you're sort of being pulled to, I feel like has been this energy that's, I don't know, like I do want to call it fear, but it's almost like more excuses or reasons we were seeing why something could go wrong or not be right for us. And maybe things were sort of getting in the way. And so we might have felt discouraged or disappointed in our position. It's like, I can't give to this, or I don't feel like I'm in a position to invest here. And we might have felt really like we missed out on something, looking back, like, oh no, like I missed out on this. And I was in a position to only reject and be sad about what I could lose out on. And I don't know how long you've sat here, because I do feel like you've sat here for some time because of these thoughts or this restriction. And Spirit is talking about now you have the key to break out of this mental prison or these thought patterns, in order for you to lean into your ability and your courage to face a greater truth that maybe it was something you were not aware of. Like, the key and the truth is you held this, and I think you held this for some time. Maybe you weren't very aware of your ability or your power, your confidence to trust yourself, And anytime we have to sort of part with something that's over, dying, or no longer sort of needed, we might have this sort of energy of, I don't want to let it go, or I don't want to experience change. So we hang on to it more. But the more we sort of hang on, the more disappointed we are, because it becomes exhausting having to resist change or flow. But I think we finally see this beautiful vision of what can be. And there's this more optimistic outlook towards this. And I do feel like it's the start of allowing. because we were resisting, rejecting, or seeing all the things, like I said, that might be getting in the way. It's like now I'm allowing myself to enjoy this belief of an experience that could be for me. And that was a big step in it of itself, to trust that we're worthy of this, that we could move beyond limitation. That's something so profound with this unicorn and the star and this clover could be something that you could engage with here or have the ability to involve yourself with. It feels very, very beautiful here, you guys, okay? And it's like you hold this vision now. It's a shift in your mindset. It's a shift in how you dance and play and engage with this thing that really allows things to flow. And you're really leaning into your courage. And I think the universe is saying it's supporting you by making this decision rather than throwing hurdles. It's like you move a step forward and the universe supports you and shows you abundance and allows things to turn, and you take another step and you get rewarded, and slowly whatever needs to die off and be released sort of goes. Because I do feel like Spirit wants you to know that you're not going to be without stability or security, because maybe we were fearing a shift would put us out of security or stability. And Spirit's saying, no. Some of you guys, it literally could be a new home. You know, we have the key, we have the house. It's like moving to a new home, moving to a new community. It's scary. But Spirit is really talking about you no longer being held back by mindsets or lack of confidence or an ability to perform. Okay? So, beautiful angel, pile number 3, this is your message. Absolutely beautiful. I love you guys very much. For some of you guys, it is coming through that autumn is quite significant for you. So, I don't know when autumn is around where you live, but autumn here is October. Okay, October could be a significant month. That's Scorpio energy. It's also Thanksgiving here in Canada, but I know Thanksgiving is in November in the US, but I'm getting a Thanksgiving energy because I feel there's a gratitude. You know, there's a gratitude, there's like a family energy here with the house. It's like a warm energy of acceptance, allowance, and it's like a merge here. You know, we finally feel welcome, we finally feel at home. And I feel the transition is safe. It doesn't feel, you know, where we're sort of jumping into a new world. It feels like a very beautiful, natural, organic transition from the old into the new while remaining still secure. But I feel like the blessings here are really evident to you that this is like a once in a lifetime sort of energy that you're aligning with. But look at all of these unicorns, because I feel like this is, again, the gift that sort of keeps on giving. If I got to put a word to it, you know, it's almost unreal here is what I feel. And I feel this is coming from you and how you see this, this potential or this prospect or this alignment. It's very much who you are and aligned with what you're here to do. Okay. And look at this beautiful wrapping around this tree. I feel like, yeah, it's like a dance of being merged and aligned with your purpose smoothly. All right. Pile number 3. This is your reading. If you're called to another pile, I will see you there. All right. Bye-bye. Gorgeous angels. Pile number 4. You guys picked this beautiful feather right here. I absolutely love the energy of the reading for today. Spirit's coming through with confirmation, maybe some hidden information you're needing to hear regarding a major decision or a turn of events happening in your world, and maybe you're wanting confirmation in your decision making. Okay, but I do feel like Spirit wants you to know you're heavily protected and guided throughout this decision and this movement in your world. Okay, so you guys picked this feather right here, which we'll take a look at, and we'll pull these cards as well. So if you guys want to go straight away to your reading, you can select from the timestamp. If you're working on developing your intuition so that you know whether this is your pile or not, I do suggest you sit throughout the card layout here, okay? So this feather says it's an owl feather. Wow. Your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. Wow, so this definitely feels like a confirmation message, something you already know, but maybe haven't seen with your eyes, but you've experienced, and that your intuition is coming through very strong, wanting confirmation here from the divine regarding what you're experiencing. Maybe it's a decision, like I said, for some of you guys. So let's take a look. Spirit, for pile number 4. What is this hidden information, confirmation message pile 4 is needing to know and hear right now in regards to this point in time? What are they needing to know for pile number 4? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. I won't be reading any reversals, okay, the tarot, but we will be pulling energy here. For pile 4, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. Please help me to channel this in a way pile 4 will understand. All right. Pile 4, what is this hidden information, confirmation pile 4 is needing to hear at this time to provide them with some clarity, some certainty around something they might be contemplating, considering, reviewing at this time? Thank you, Spirit. So blessed to be here doing this reading. Let's pull some of these for pile number 4. What is pile 4 needing to hear at this time? And finally, the Angel Tarot for pile 4. One more? 2 more. Okay. Let's move these out of our way. There. So we have Moon, maybe with intuition. You guys, look at the synchronicities here. Intuition, intuition. Like, is Spirit giving you any information other than telling you just trust your intuition? Like, wow, that's pretty crazy. The Necropolis. Wow. Necropolis. Okay. Very similar colors here with the browns. And we have the house. I think this came out for almost every single pile. King of Cups, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, the number 4. So this could be your home environment or family or community. It could even be work if we spend a lot of time with work. It's our security, the people we know. The garden, more people. This is the network of people. This could be events. 20 and 8 swords or 8 of spades. Okay, and then we have the sickle. The Jack of Pentacles, number 10. A black rose here. So the sickle is an abrupt sort of ending. Okay. We have the 5 of Pentacles. I won't be reading anything in reverse here, okay? So 5 Pentacles. And we have the 8 of Swords coming through again. We had 8 swords in the garden here. And we have the King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Wow. We have the Chariot, Cancer energy, Archangel Metatron. It says, an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. It's a card of victory. 7 of Earth, 7 Pentacles. It says, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. And we have the Ace of Fire, which is Ace of Wands, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. And we have the 8 of Air, which is 8 swords for a 3rd time. Okay, with all these unicorns, it says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. And finally, we have the 7 of fire, 7 wands. It says, defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, choose your battles wisely. Okay, we have purpose. This came out for pile number 3. And we have second chakra with the sacral chakra. This is all about our emotions. It's also could be the chakra of our creative passions. Okay, of intimacy. We have change. And we have tranquility. And we have heal, heart, and spirit. This came out for pile 1, I believe, as well. Okay. Let me sit with this energy. You guys can click straight away on the channeled message. Okay. Beautiful angels. Big shift here. Maybe we haven't pulled the trigger just yet on whatever this shift is here, because again, these readings are really about you on the precipice of a major change or decision or something. And this seems huge because I do feel like this is like pulling the trigger on something with the sickle. It's like an abrupt sort of cutoff or ending in some capacity. And what this seems to me is like cutting off a channel of people or a group of people or some network here of, like family, friends. I don't know what this is, but it might be something that has been very limiting to us. And maybe we've been intuitively called towards making a change. And we've been contemplating. And I feel like Spirit is coming through with a very loud message of there being success in movement away and cutting yourself off from anything here that isn't aligned with positive shift towards expansion for yourself. But I feel like it's really connected to where you're being called to from Spirit. So if Spirit is calling you to make change and move in a direction, and if there's anyone or anything that you know is slowing you down or not in line with this, Spirit is talking about you intuitively knowing who you need to cut out and what you need to sort of put an end to. And it's scary, when we cut ties or make decisions like this, we want to make sure we're doing it for the greatest good. And Spirit is saying you're now equipped with fully understanding, because your intuition has been guiding you, to follow a feel here, because there's a feel and what feels aligned to your greater purpose and movement to make this change towards your peace and happiness for the future. That is really where Spirit's calling you. And we might have been putting up with or making do with, situations that might have been feeling very misaligned and not balanced with that future state. And we could have been investing in those people or those situations again, knowing that we're giving our energy or time, maybe our resources or money, however we're investing. And it's like, okay, but it's not building to something. And I think you already know that it's not building to something. It's just sort of tiding you over or keeping you stagnant or stuck. And so I feel like there is maybe you knowing when the right time would happen, where you just sort of pull the trigger. Because I'm seeing with this Ace of Wands and the sickle, it's like an abrupt sort of ripping of the Band-Aid. And I don't know when this time is or if it's happening right away, but I do see it's for the greater good of your peace, for the greater good of aligning you with what Spirit is wanting you to do. Spirit doesn't want you to sort of just roll over and sort of bend to things that aren't aligned for your highest peace or your purpose. And I feel like there isn't any progression here. You might have felt very much underappreciated or a lack of building to something. And then on top of it, maybe telling yourself why you needed to stay there or why you couldn't cut people out or make these decisions, because I do feel like there was restrictions in your mind as to how and when and why. And Spirit's really confirming your position won't suffer because you're in a stable energy here of turning off that faucet. And maybe you felt like, can I still be secure? Will my world that I've built for myself, my security or my nest egg or my resources, be impacted or cut? And so maybe you were still trying to convince yourself that you needed to stay someplace, but Spirit's really talking about your intuition knows that the longer you'd stay there, it's like a slow leak or drain, whereas cutting it off makes the most sense. And I think you're fast approaching that sort of turning point where it's like, it's my stability, it's my security, it's my future. And I can choose where I'm going to invest and build this thing. And if I stay put, you might risk being with people or situations that might be, like putting this at risk or making you feel lack rather than abundance. So I do feel like maybe it's very emotional decisions here where we're exposing ourselves to how we feel, and we maybe wanted to keep things more practical or more in like the pentacle realm. But Spirit's really talking about your intuition, and with this sacral chakra, talking about this isn't just a pentacle decision based on finances or resources. There's more in play here that really taps into feelings and making you sort of feel whole emotionally and making these changes for inner peace, which is more in line with everything well-rounded and you having success there rather than keeping it sort of this practical decision only, like this pays my bill or this, I don't know, there's only one sort of aspect maybe you were looking at here. And so I feel like there's broadening outside of this, knowing that you have the ability to make decisions and you're not alone in this decision either, because I do feel like there's supports and maybe you felt alone or that there'd be a lot of limitation in making this choice. And so it could have gone either way. But one way is stagnant and stuck. And the other way I feel is freeing and more in line with bringing you this peace and aligning you with what it feels true with Spirit. And I do feel it is healing as well. But anytime we experience change, it might be scary or we might be hesitant, especially when it comes to something that provided us with stability. And so I do feel like there's you finding this within yourself to align yourself with Spirit and trust yourself to make decisions that do put end to situations that aren't productive once and for all. It's like, this isn't aligned, therefore I won't keep giving or investing in that. And I think this feels good. And I think this allows you to really fight towards victory, balance, and success, rather than feel like you're missing out or you're having to settle or feel restricted or stuck because of something that might have been providing you with some form of stability or security. And even at that, it's like still feeling lack, still feeling like something's missing, And that was Spirit's way of telling you, like, it didn't matter how long you sort of convinced yourself or stayed there. There's this feeling that's not aligned with Spirit and your greatest good, because your purpose is outside of this environment. And I think you already intuitively know this. And so I do feel like for a lot of you guys, you might have experienced recently something confirming this in black and white to you, like an experience that's like beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like, now for sure which way you want to move. It's like, do I want to stick to and commit to investing here? Or do I want to move forward? Because I feel like there's a need to really make this the concrete decision and your momentum towards forward movement. But you had to be sold on this, Spirit couldn't rush you. Spirit couldn't convince you of this if we were still humming and hawing and not seeing the value in the change. It's like, is the change worth it? Is the, squeeze worth the juice, sort of thing? Or the juice worth the squeeze? It's like, what exactly am I being asked to sort of shift and change here? And what will be the result of this? And I feel like Spirit is saying we're now at a point where we know that this change is going to provide you with balance, peace, harmony, and it will be successful. We're no longer sort of making reasons or excuses or feeling stuck by belief systems, or again, this 8 swords coming through very strong, because we would talk ourselves out of success or how we could have movement. And I don't know if there was one sort of main thing here keeping us in place. One person, one thing, one idea, one understanding. It's like, but I can't because of this. I can't because of this. It's like always coming back to this one thing. And I feel like with Spirit's coming through with this hidden message or this confirmation, it's like you are going to experience something that's going to be unmistakable. It's going to really connect to you. You're going to feel it. Okay, intuitively, emotionally, in your heart space and with the divine, and you can't question it. It becomes a reality to you that solidifies this decision and like cutting something out. Like it's just enough now, And so, now my right ear is beeping. And so I do feel like you're aligned and you're getting momentum where you might have felt very at the mercy of your circumstance and situation for quite some time. Even though I do feel like you had a lot of involvement there. It's like you had involvement there because you were needing to work through certain understandings. But your purpose is outside of this. And I do feel like you're now in a position to understand that you're in a higher state or a higher capacity to overcome challenge and make decisions that will move the ball forward. It's like if you knew you'd have success here, you would have made these decisions sooner. It's like now it's shown to you. It's like, yeah, I'll have success moving in this direction. And you don't second guess yourself. You trust yourself to make these decisions, to lean into this change rather than shy away from whatever this is here. Okay, because I do feel like your current state, whatever this is, I do feel as a group of people, a community, or something already established, is proving itself to not be aligned. Okay, so beautiful pile number 4. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, bye-bye.